Hey, this is old fat man from the holler with my dad. He's going to tell a couple funny little stories about some family history. Come on.
My Uncle Earl, one time, he had this old uh, 54 Chevy 6-cylinder 3 on the tree, and he painted it metallic blue and put a white tarp on it, and he wanted to do something special. So one day he cut some feet off of a buzzard or a chicken hawk or something, and then he hung them for this rearview mirror.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was something.
You got any more stories about hot rods?
Well, I've been watching it at Ian, and he built a.
No, I mean more like family hot rods and people you knew, not people on TV so much.
My brother one time built the old gray primer 40 Ford that he bought at the junkyard. He gave $100 for it. It ran and everything.
What year you think that
It
was?
was a 1940, and it had a flathead Mercury in it with a top loader 3-speed.
What year you think he bought that out of junkyard?
About in '64.
Really? So
It was
you was a teenager then?
Yeah, it was already a gray primer, and the wheels was already painted red with big fat white walls.
Did you like it?
And he told me, he said, "I'm going to build this bitch up." And he went on and took the hood off, and he got that little flathead Mercury out of it, though. And I heard a beating one day. It woke me up out of my sleep, and I looked out there, and he's in the backyard with a sledgehammer. He's beating his firewall back so he could put that 401 Buick in it.
Oh, so the distributor would fit?
No,
The motor fit. Okay.
the motor was a big block.
Yeah.
401.
Nowadays they actually sell stuff to where you can cut it out the grinder
Yeah.
and weld the panel in, or it resets the firewall for you.
Normal people usually use the cutter or a torch to cut
Torch.
the firewall out.
I understand that.
But there's
Well, when you're poor, you just gotta do it on the fly. You know what I'm saying?
improvise.
Yeah, improvise with what you got. You just utilize what you got, but you don't have a lot of money.
His wheels wasn't wide enough, so at the time though he worked for Parker's Funeral Home, and they give him a couple of big wide wheels off of a meat wagon. And
Oh, and he put them on there for like slicks.
he went on cut the center Chrysler centers out, and he welded in 40 Ford centers. And
Oh
they was
wow!
real deep reversed, and he painted them a bright red, and it looked pretty cool.
How long have you liked cars, hot rods?
All my life.
Really? So, if you had a wish, you'd probably like to meet some of the people you watched on TV before you pass away, wouldn't you?
I would.
Maybe even riding some of the cars with them.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty neat.
Like old Ian Custom, he's one of the coolest guys, though. It's like Big Daddy Roth all over again.
All right, well, I'm gonna ask you some questions. Do you remember building chopper bikes before Jesse James was around, where you take a hatchet and you chop the front,
Hacksaw.
a hacksaw, you cut the front ends apart and slip them together and put a bolt through them because you didn't have a welder.
Well, sometimes I went on and got some chain link tubing, and about 2 foot long, and I had some of my friends, the Henrys, tack weld it together, and I'd take a 26-inch frame, and I'd put a 20-inch wheel on back with a big slick,
Yeah.
and then I'd take a 20-inch with a real skinny tire, and that'd be my front, and then I'd put high handlebars on it, and I'd put a banana seat with a high bar to lean back against.
Did you also run a Springer fork?
I ran Springer forks on some of them.
You did.
Yeah, and I went on and drilled holes and stuff, and I put handbrakes on them front and back.
Well, since we're on YouTube and everybody's going to see you, did you ever own any old motorcycles you can remember?
I had a Harley Davidson. I had a 165, what they called a Hummer. It had a rigid back end, no shocks.
What year was that?
It was about a 59.
59?
I sanded it down. I made it a jet black, and I made the gas tank gold.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good.
Did you own any other older motorcycles?
I had a 45 Indian, a 1945 Indian, a 32 model. It had a suicide clutch with a shifter by the
Kind of like a
gas tank.
bobber?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I cut the back fender off and took the front one and threw it away, and I put like a XLCH gas tank on it, though, and I put some A-pingers on it. I was getting it looking pretty good.
Yeah. You've always loved to build stuff, bicycles, motorcycles, cars, and trucks, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the greatest part of when you're doing it, when you're a poor guy, you're spray bombing stuff with spray cans, and you don't got a lot of tools. But you're not like the guys on TV that's got all the tools. You have the ability to utilize what you have to create something that looks pretty cool, even though you don't have tons of money or tons of equipment, right?
I couldn't even hardly read or write, but I went on and went to junkyards and stuff and got all the stuff that I needed to put them together.
So what you're saying is you always had the ability to fabricate things in your life.
Yeah, yeah, I did the same stuff like Ian does, only I didn't have
Have the tools or the
means.
materials to build stuff out of good stuff.
So I just had to drill holes and everything and bolt everything together, pop rivets together.
So
and stuff.
you fabricated and you made your own templates to assemble it.
Right.
Very good. But anyway, everybody on YouTube, this is my dad, and I figured I'd record some videos because when people see me doing DIY, music, drawing, and all things I do, this man right here was my inspiration. He gives me creation, inspiration. He gives me spiritual power. He's the guy that brought me in this world, and I want everybody to know this is my dad. So if you see him out in public, don't act stupid to him because you might get a knuckle sandwich from me. And that is all.